Hello guys, what's up? This is ScherBR talking. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're talking about the update to Monster Village Training Cave event. This is a daily event that it's used for many things. One of them is to get style experience. The higher the stage, the more you get. So a new style kinda gets a lot of experience just by going here. The second one is to learn new skills and spells. If you want to learn a skill, you have to bring your character here, and then if it has an icon of a weapon, like this skill here called Smash, and it's still not learned, you can just use especially normal attacks or any skills, and this character will have a very high chance of learning it on the latest stage, number 10. If you want to learn a spell, use the same stage, but you only learn that by the end of the stage, so you can just clear it normally and just wait to see if your character learned something on the end. It's a very high chance you usually get to learn at least one spell by the end of a fight. The skills may sometimes not trigger, that's why I recommend you just focusing on normal attacks, even leaving your characters unequipped, so it takes more time, more normal attacks to have them to learn the skills. Besides this, you also get the styles experience like I said. But the other thing is the drop rewards. You get two types of drop rewards here, and they are a gold ore and a normal ore. The gold ore starts dropping from stage 6 and beyond, and the drop rates is the same. If you run stage number 6 or 10, it does not matter, you have the same chance of dropping gold ore in the normal ore. You have a fixed number of at least 2 or 3 for gold, and for silver I don't remember exactly, but you have a chance, the same chance between the stages number 6 to 10. But if you run the stages below that, you have different results. I do not recommend unless you are very new to the game and you still don't have the power. But if you already have all your skills learned and everything else, you don't need style experience, you can just run stage number 6 if it's faster for you, it's okay. So then let's go to the exchange shop. Here on the exchange shop, you get to see many different styles that you can get. Why? Because here, let's explain something. If you want a gold style, that is an SS style, you need 250 gold pieces in order to craft the style from 0. That is something that I really don't recommend you going unless you are very unlucky with the style. It never appears on your platinum pools, and then it's okay to craft the style just by doing this, but it's mostly good for you to just slowly limit break your characters till you can get him to level 50, and that's something that you can do here. Or if you are very unlucky, you can chase one of them. With the normal ores, we can get the SS styles, and let's see here, that they are also used for S styles, and the gold ones, let's get to the end of this, are used for materials like silver pieces, bronze pieces, the generic ones, also some of expedition tickets. Stamina potions, don't ever do this because the game has a plenty. And for the last thing, we have something that you should never do, and that is change 10 ores to become a gold ore. As you saw, the style pieces can only be acquired with normal ores, and you cannot do the inverse exchange. You can only get gold ore here by trading normal ore. Don't ever do that. So if you want, you can get the expedition tickets and the silver pieces just fine with the gold ores. Save all your normal ores to get SS style pieces. And what are the best ones? Let me explain. Actually, the best one should be Gray, Cat, Mei-Ling, and then Ginny, and then Aisha, and then Katarina, and lastly, Urpina. Urpina is the hardest one to use, so she is not something that I would recommend. Okay, so now we'll be talking about the styles in order of priority. Mei-Ling can be gotten from Final Island, so I don't recommend you going for her, but if you want to get her maxed as soon as possible and you don't need the other styles, you can start with Mei-Ling. So, Mei-Ling is a magic spellcaster, but also has physical damage, allowing her to participate in some very strange compositions that actually work fine. You can use her for blunt and slash, because her best attack, Solar Shot, a triple S damage attack with only 10 BP cost, meaning that she can open with this, is a very strong attack. She rivals blue sometimes, not as much, but very close. She also has a double S weapon, especially made for her. It's not available in the game right now, but maybe available later in the future. And it buffs sun damage for 2 turns. That is insane. She also deals sun damage all the time with all of her 2 damage skills. And she can be used as an opener for other strategies where some of your mages do sun. In any mastery information, you place her in the front, and some of your other characters do sun as well. She will just help increase damage. You can also use her in Rainbow Rangers. Let's say that you want to use Rainbow Rangers to make a full blunt damage squad. You use her in the intelligence position for blunt, you use a gunner in the dex position, you use a club user or a martial artist on the STR position, and a martial artist also on the agility position. Then you have 4 damage dealers getting 50% increase in their main status in Rainbow Rangers. That's very nice for stages that have 1 or 2 waves. And if you want her for ScherBR, it's also the same. You can use her alongside a slash setup easily in Rainbow Rangers, but then you have to increase Solar Shock to 11 and run ScherBR for 2 turns straight. Very nice. She can also heal. The only problem is that you have to use the light version of a gun. If you don't have her real weapon, you can use any gun with light element as well. And for ability, she has 25% increase in damage when dealing Sun, because of Sun Amp 2, and Fired Up 4. If it's not dealing Sun damage, you get only 15 when you are dealing Slash and Blunt only. She also has 25% chance to inflict Confusion, and it may not seem that high, but she has an AoE option by inheritance of her A style, that is Solar Wind. It's kinda too costly for being only D power, but it's Sun and Fire, so you can also take advantage of this, but the power is not that high, and the chance caps on 25% for Confusion. May be useful in some challenges, but it's not that reliable. It's more about single target damage and heal when needed. Very good, one of the best platinum styles in the game so far. The next best style is Gray, because Gray is a damage dealer. It's nice because Gray has many platinum styles and he will get even one another that just makes him even better. This is the style that you can get in Monster Village Training Cave and has 2 very powerful skills. That is Yaksha Flash and Will Swing. You can even use this other Gray to build your max potential Gray, because this one is the superior one. This one is made for boss fights and also farming, while this one is only for farming. This Gray here is built for turn 1 damage because of Engage Tree. This passive gives him 30% increase in damage on turn 1 only. Every new wave he casts this again. In Fired Up 3, that means 10% increase in damage, for a total of 40. He also has a chance to increase his own STR for even more damage, but that is capped on 25. So Yaksha Flash is good because it hits between 3 to 5 times. Many skills that do that sometimes can even cost more than just 9 BP, and it gives increased damage to critical against floating enemies. And many enemies are flying, just dragons, wyverns, and such, and you can get this as a critical damage in a lot of special bosses in the game. So even without using an SS weapon, Gray will do very good damage and can compete against premium styles. Very nice for a character that's platinum and easy to acquire. Also, we have Will Swing. That is a skill that is not as strong by itself, but you can amplify this to become Will Swing Plus. Will Swing Plus is as AoE damage and is like one of the best AoE damage we have in the game for turn 2 damage. So Gray can be used either on turn 1 or turn 2, and you can even inherit those 2 skills into the other Gray. This one is also platinum, but it's the superior one, and just use it on turn 1 or turn 2 as well, depending on how you inherit these things. Because he's just so strong and useful to clear waves and also kill bosses, he's the second recommendation. So now we will talk about 2 debuffers, the number 3 and number 4, and they are only useful if you don't have a premium debuffer in the game yet. There may be some premium debuffers available in some banners, and if you have them, they are usually better than the platinum ones, but if you don't, they are the next best thing you can acquire. So Summer Cat is good because she can debuff up to 3 times in a single turn. That is unlikely to happen, but sometimes it may happen. It depends on one skill that's not from her initial kit. You need to inherit that by her first platinum style, and that is Submission. Submission is a 6 BP skill that can debuff STR with a chance. Depends on her intelligence. She does have some okay intelligence. She may fail depending on the challenge, but well, it is what it is. She has 2 passives that also gives her a chance to debuff again. One is Enervate 3 for STR, and the second one is for Agility. That means 25% chance of debuffing the enemy's STR or debuffing the Agility, but it can happen on the same time or separately, so you have a chance to debuff the 2 on the same time, none or just 1. So Submission is based on the skill and the intelligence, and those 2 are also based on intelligence, but they cap on 25. So she's a debuff machine and good, but still not reliable because you depend on luck. But if you don't have any other, she's your thing. You just may need some retries, but she'll eventually help you. The next one is Ginny, and Ginny does have some premium styles here, and at least you can do some stuff with this version to become also an STR debuffer, an agility debuffer, by actually using this instead. You need to get the skill called Bone Crusher from this. We call her Big Hammer Ginny, and she gets Bone Crusher to inherit into this Ginny. This one has to enervate just the same as Summer Cat. Same chances, but this one has a very similar intelligence as well, and very similar kit. They also decrease damage on full HP. So the good thing is that this Ginny can also be a damage dealer with Mountain Splitter between 3 to 5 hits. Look, reminds me of Gray. She has a similar skill but for blunt instead of for slash, and has a way higher BP cost. So because of Bone Crusher inheritance given into this one, you have some very good value if you don't have any premium debuffer in your setup. Okay, the next one is Aisha, and if you don't need the 2 debuffers, she's like number 3 for you. But if you do, she's like number 5. Aisha is good because she has multiple elements as well. She has slash, blunt, and heat. She can also petrify with her pass style, but the chances are very low. I don't think you should rely on this. But this Aisha has a nuke attack with triple S damage, Hyper Hammer on turn 1. You can decrease this to 10 by awakening, and it's good enough. She's not as strong as most of the triple S openers in the game, but it's okay because she can be used for 2 types of damage, slash and blunt, and you can use her in Rainbow Rangers or Dragon Strike formation just fine. After she opens with Hyper Hammer, she would just stick to hit slash with slash and heat. It's good enough because the C damage, 3 BP, she just keeps using, she never runs out of BP. She may not be the best damage dealer, but at least she brings elemental coverage. And as you can see, she get a 30% increase in damage if hitting for a weak target, and also a chance to buff STR. Good enough for a platinum style, cannot be compared to premium ones, but it's a filler character nonetheless. And now we have Katarina, and we have many different styles for Katarina, premium ones even. And this one is not that bad, especially because she can use this double S attack with 8 PP 2 times in a 3-turn cycle. It's not that powerful, but it gives critical damage against flowing enemies, so she can cover force or damage if you still lack some slash damage dealers. She does have some good damage because of 2 good passives, weak point focus 3 and fired up 4, and also draining attack 3 to heal sometimes in boss fights. This helps. Glacial's Word is something that is not that useful because it's weak, but if you're still lacking cold, she may help a little. Bull Crush should be avoided, and you should not even awaken this. Keep on 8 so that she forgets it even exists, and just use Shallow Reversal. And if you want this in auto, she just gets back to use Shallow Reversal after using Glacial's Word sometimes. But Katarina is a filler character for slash damage, mostly for farming and for boss fights, and mostly for when you can use Shallow Reversal 2 times. But in some fights against flowing enemies, it's okay. You can even use her with Gray if you don't have any premium ones. A filler character, but an okay-ish as well. And the last one is Urpina, and I don't think you should be trying to use Urpina at all. She's just too complicated to use and was designed for the past, and also has a very costly skill that kinda has an explanation. Her first skill recovers BP, well, so you get 6 BP every turn, but then Dual Rewind is only S damage, and we have Real Swing Plus now with Gray, and it gets you 13 BP when you fully awaken, so you can use it faster. You just waste too many turns to use Dual Rewind, and it's not that powerful anymore. Dual Crosscut is also kinda costly than normal skills with 6 BP. For A, this one is 7 instead of 6. At least it gives him critical damage to Undead on Demon, but it does not justify. She also has only 1 damage passive. Gray has 40% increase in damage, she has only 15. Well, Gray is for 1 turn. Urpina could be used for long fights, but she does not have any utility right now in the game, and you should avoid her. And that's it, guys. I hope this can help you decide which styles you want to go after first. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you want to support the channel, there are links here in the description of the video. We see each other on the next one. Bye.